What is up, MMA fans? This is Tudor Leonte for Sherdog.com, and today I have the pleasure once again to talk with UFC fighter Mr. Vince Morales. Hello, Vince. Welcome back. How are you today?
Doing great. I'm just at the PI right now, cutting a little bit of weight, getting my weight manageable, getting it down rather.
Okay. And so you are preparing before leaving to Europe, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, we take off bright and early Monday morning.
Oh, nice. That's nice. How is the situation, if I may ask?
It's great. It's great right now. That was one reason I threw my name out for this fight is how my training camp has been, quote unquote, because I've basically been in camp, and where my weight was. It's kind of matched up perfectly for meeting over in London. So here we are.
Were you training when they called you to replace Liudvik Sholinian for his fight against Nathaniel Wood?
I was, yeah. Actually, I have a training partner from England, funny enough, that's here, Cameron Else. He's training for his UFC fight come April, and whatever he's doing, I'm doing. So we've been in camp together, basically. And then I just happened to be scrolling through Twitter and saw that Liudvik was pulling out for the Ukraine situation, which I hope all is well and hope that gets situated. But yeah, I texted my manager immediately saying, hey, this was the fight that I was calling for back in December. I mean, I can make weight. Can we get this done? And he said, let me see. And then within the day, I had an answer, and we were booked our flights for London. So here we go.
Smiling, since I know that you actually asked for this fight and you get it eventually, right? If I'm not wrong here, you called Nathaniel Wood out right after your victory, after defeating Louis Smolka.
Yes, that's correct. And that's why when I saw that was happening, since I'd called him out already, I felt like it wouldn't be right if I didn't volunteer and put my name in there. So, and it was for the card that I had thrown out there. So it's kind of weird how that worked out.
What is it that, inspires you about this matchup? Why would you like to face Wood?
For one, he's kind of a stand and trade kind of guy, so I don't have to worry about any wrestling going on with him. And he's somebody, before I even got signed, I watched one of his fights, and I just thought, back then I thought we had matched up well. And then I said to myself, when I get in the show, I'm probably going to end up fighting him. And he's called the prospect for a reason. He's been a prospect for a minute. So those are the kind of guys that I want to face and prove that I can beat, because I want to fight the best guys in the division. So, yeah.
It will be the first time you will fight in Europe. What do you expect from your trip to the United Kingdom?
A lot of booze as I'm walking out at first, but I'm excited. I'm excited to get a little taste of what it's like across the pond over there. I don't know. That's another reason I wanted to go there. I've never been. Fighting's taken me to Beijing and Canada, all over the States. Yeah, Europe's just another place that I'd like to see, and I'm thankful that MMA and fighting is able to put me there.
Are you still training at Syndicate MMA, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, I am. Coach Wood's flying out come Wednesday, I believe, because his wife and fighter Jojo Wood is fighting the following week. So yeah, he's a busy man just for the next month or so.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, flying from one part of the world to another, yeah, that must be quite stressful, at least for coaches.
Yeah. I'm thankful he's willing to come.
Is there any sparring partner in particular whom you would like to share with us?
I got a handful of real good ones that I'm working with as of late. I already mentioned Cameron Else. We've got O'Day Osborne, who's been a giant help. He's that boy's the truth at the flyweight division. I'll tell you that much. We got Jay Perrin. Who else has been coming through? It's Syndicate. We're in Vegas, so it's kind of been a hot spot, and we get new people there every day. I mean, the talent in the room has grown. I've been there roughly 2 years. It's grown dramatically. So yeah, I'm grateful I get to train with some of the world-class athletes like on a regular basis.
Yeah, I hear more and more fighters are moving to Vegas or are going to train in Vegas for a little bit. So I can imagine that you are right in what you are telling me right now. You were at UFC 272, right?
Yes, I was. Yeah, yeah. That was the pay-per-view that just passed. I was. That was great.
Yeah, this past weekend. How was the event?
It was a good time. There were a few fights that ended up becoming a little lackluster from what I was expecting, but overall, it's good to be in the atmosphere and in the arena and hear punches landing and the crowd screaming and everything. It just kind of gears me up and gets me fired up to go do the same thing over in England.
And what do you think about the main event where Colby Covington defeated via unanimous decision Jorge Masvidal?
I was surprised. I was and wasn't surprised that Colby didn't really go for a finish, considering a lot of the positions that he had Masvidal in. I was really thinking Masvidal's takedown defense was going to hold up a little better, and then he was going to get the better of him on the feet, which it kind of did. But yeah, just with the pacing, it ended up being a Colby show with. Colby looked all right.
There is something that you wrote on Twitter that really caught my attention, and you mentioned that people cheering behind of you was a sort of eye-opening for you, that actually fans couldn't care less for martial arts expect or fighters. What do you mean by that?
Well, so I spend a lot of my time around martial artists in general, just because I'm like I said, the gym that I'm in, we got world-class athletes and everybody's in there trying to grow and better themselves, and everything kind of only gets boiled down to what we can show on these one moments. And it's expected, but it's also like I forget about it because I'm always surrounded by the people who are actually in there competing. When I say it's expected, that they're only looking for the blood and they're not as educated as I would hope. I just forget about it because of the atmosphere I'm constantly in. It surprised me for a second until I reassessed the situation. I'm like, of course not. But it is what it is. Thankfully, my little crew that we went with and sat with, we could sit down, break down the fights, and understand what was going on. We could appreciate things for what they were instead of what they weren't.
So allow me to ask you, are you or are you not a fan of the Just Bleed guy?
Yes and no, because some of those guys get me amped up. But when somebody's mid takedown and somebody's shouting, "Go for the body," it doesn't work for me. That kind of stuff can be a little agitating.
Okay, that's fair enough. So listen, we already discussed a couple of times, but I never had the chance to ask you about your nickname, Vandetta. Where does it come from?
That one's actually not. It's not a nickname. That's actually my middle name.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It's okay. I get that all the time. Everybody thinks I misspell the word vendetta, which is revenge in Italian. I got a little Italian lineage in the family, and that's where the name came from. But yeah, it was my grandpa's last name. It's been my last name. I just run with my full name as being that's how I like to get announced. Almost like I'm in trouble when I'm young.
Okay. Now I understand that. So UFC London features Alexander Volkov versus Tom Aspinall as the main event. I would like to hear your pick for this fight.
I think Tom Aspinall is going to be able to. I think he's a little quicker, and his combinations and how he puts the strikes together might be a little more efficient. Not saying that Volkov's not, but Aspinall just does things differently, I believe, and I think he's going to find his way in. I think he could probably looking at getting an early finish.
And may I ask you a pick or a prediction for your fight as well?
Let's see. So my prediction, I'm thinking he turns into a wrestler at one point after he gets punched in the face a few times and he ends up getting choked out.
Okay. Have you already picked your workout song?
I have not yet. No, I'm still working on that.
And may I ask your options or your main picks at the moment?
I'd like to mix it up, but I was kind of thinking about going with my last walkout song, which was "Help Yourself," just because I like the message in that. But I'm thinking about a song called "Grateful" by Marlon Craft, and that's just kind of more so because of what MMA has done for me and where I'm going and where it's taken me, and where that special place that I have for MMA in my heart, and I'm grateful for it. And that song kind of goes along with that for their own version of success. But like I said, that's kind of how it ties in. So it's a toss up between those two as of now. We'll see.
These are some fine choices. So Vince, I finished my questions. Before I let you go, as usual, if you like to take the floor and if you like to share your message, please.
A big one. I just want to say thank you to my management, Iridium and Jason House, for actually believing in me and trusting in me when I asked to get my name put out there. It's because for me, a lot of what I preach about on a regular basis is taking advantage of opportunities and not just waiting for them, but making them. And this is one of those moments for me. I'm putting myself out there against a challenging fight for looking for something great, and great things don't happen unless you go after them. So that's where I'm at with this fight. So thank you to Iridium for believing in me and my team for coming with me, looking at going to Old Boy's hometown and surprising everybody and gaining some new fans.
It's always a pleasure for me to talk with you. Best of luck with your upcoming fight. Hopefully I'll hear again from you in the future.
Yeah, thank you too. I look forward to talking to you after a win.
Yeah, good luck with that. Best. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.